Kung Fu versus Karate. There are several kinds of martial art forms, and Kung Fu and Karate stand out as two of the most popular in the world. To the untrained eye, Kung Fu and Karate might look the same. No thanks to the thousands of martial arts movies that have graced our screens over the past decades. But in fact, there are substantial differences in these two art forms. And in this video, we'll be comparing these two martial art styles side by side. In the end, we'll ask the question, which of these two styles is better? Here is Kung Fu versus Karate. Kung Fu and Karate may look similar, but there are fundamental differences between them right from their very beginnings. Kung Fu has been practiced in China for over 7,000 years. The ancient martial art is a collection of ancient Chinese culture, philosophy, and wisdom. Kung Fu is, in fact, a collection of different Chinese martial arts. In China, the phrase Kung Fu could refer to a variety of martial arts, including Wushu, Bagua Zhang, drunken boxing, Shaolin, and a host of other art forms. The most famous forms of Kung Fu and the forms most common in the Western world are Shaolin or Wushu Kung Fu. If you've ever watched Jackie Chan or Jet Li, then you've definitely seen these forms of Kung Fu. Karate is not as old as Kung Fu, as it has been practiced for about 200 years. Originally formed in Okinawa, Japan, Karate can be thought of as an offshoot of Chinese martial arts. Karate came to life as a martial art form thanks to the trade relations between China and Japan that saw many Chinese families travel to the Japanese island of Okinawa. With the influx of these families came the knowledge of Chinese martial arts. However, the Chinese, out of pride and greed, did not relay the full knowledge of their martial arts to the Japanese. The Chinese taught Japanese some fundamental ideas and explanation of their martial art, but for some reason omitted the cultural significance of the art form. As a result, there were bridges in the knowledge of Chinese martial art for the Japanese. Because of this, over time the Japanese practice of Chinese martial art, or Kung Fu, evolved over time, becoming different from its original form and morphing into what we know today as Karate. This is why Karate and Kung Fu are quite similar. They are branches of the same tree. Kung Fu as a martial art does not specifically refer to a style of fighting. As we have earlier pointed out, it is best described as an umbrella of many Chinese fighting styles, with Wushu and Shaolin being the most prominent. In the real sense of the word, Kung Fu refers to any individual achievement that is cultivated, nurtured, or gained by sheer hard work. It describes a variety of skills, disciplines, or study attained through Chinese martial arts. On the other hand, Karate refers to a specific fighting style. The meaning of the word karate is empty hands. It points to the purpose of the martial art, which is self-defense. And this self-defense depends on the skillful application of the defenseless body of the artist. One of the more obvious differences between Kung Fu and Karate is in their movement. The movements of these two martial arts strongly define them and their application. In Kung Fu, the movement is more circular and fluid. When practicing Kung Fu, the artist is trained to shift his weight laterally, making them depend more on responding to their opponent's attack. You first evade a strike and then deliver a powerful counter strike. Kung Fu also draws inspiration for movements and techniques from various animals. This is where we get the tiger style or the crane style Kung Fu. Movements in Karate, on the other hand, are more straightforward and are described as linear. It relies on making straightforward, powerful strikes with the hands, feet, and elbows. In karate, these styles are mastered to be very quick and very powerful. A lot of what happens in karate has to do with power. Expert karate fighters can deliver incredibly powerful kicks to their opponents. The contrast in movement between these two martial arts makes them suitable for slightly different applications. Because of Kung Fu's graceful circular motion, it is ideal in circumstances where you might be grappling with your opponent. However, if you are more interested in inflicting harm on your opponent, the more violent and powerful karate art will be more suitable. With powerful kicks and the use of elbows, you can knock out your opponents with a single strike. The uniforms worn in Kung Fu and Karate are quite different. Karate uniforms are more recognizable. A complete karate attire will comprise white pants, a jacket, and a colored belt. The color of this belt indicates the skill level of the artist. In Kung Fu, artists wear various styles of tops with Chinese-style buttons or frog buttons. The uniforms come in different colors, styles, and materials. One significant difference in dressing between Kung Fu and Karate is that while Kung Fu artists wear shoes, Karate artists do not wear shoes. So which of these martial arts is easier to learn? For adults, Karate is an easier martial art to learn, and this is primarily because of its straight linear movements. It is a lot easier to execute these linear actions than the more complicated, fluid Kung Fu movements. However, if you are not capable of executing jump kicks and other powerful techniques, then Kung Fu might be the better option for you. For kids, Karate is also an easier art to learn. This is because Kung Fu requires lots of focus, and this might not be as easy thing for kids to achieve. While Karate also requires a good degree of focus, as pretty much all martial arts do, it is easier to focus on Karate's more straightforward techniques than those of the more complicated Kung Fu. Which of the two martial arts is better? Well, the simple answer is none. It is often complicated to ask which martial art is better than which. You have to put it in context. Both Kung Fu and Karate are self-fulfilling in their own right, depending on your personal preferences. You might choose Kung Fu over Karate, or vice versa, for various reasons depending on your personal aims, circumstances, and preferences, and either of them will suit you perfectly. Most artists tend to learn a variety of martial arts for different scenarios. This makes them well-rounded artists and more formidable opponents. What do you guys think? Kung Fu versus Karate? I would love to hear your opinions in the comment section down below. For more videos like this, be sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a future upload. Thanks for watching.